Okay, brilliant. And you talk a lot about, the data that you built out, the programs that you built out at Foodini. I'm curious about your funnel, if you don't mind me asking. Just overall, how do you think about measurements and how has that evolved over time?
Yeah. Um, so in general, I'd say funnel, I guess we're to break it down, kind of where awareness. And I break this into like pre product market fit as well as post, where I think it's two different things in terms of how much you pour into it. I think lead gen, building up that funnel. If it's pre market fit, a lot of it is partnerships. It's understanding how to kind of get the word out about what you're building, especially if similar to what we're doing at Foodini, you're a new category. You're a new product that has never been done. There's a lot that's needed in terms of getting people to understand the problem and to be able to kind of build the thought sharing side of things. So I'd say a lot of it is being a thought leader, helping to educate others in this space, um, leaning into companies or partners that have a lot more distribution than you in the early days to be able to distribute that type of content and sharing. I always caution early revenue leaders on things like lead gen, spending a lot of money on marketing. I think that marketing makes sense post product market fit when you know you've got a measurable outcome. But I caution on spending too much money on things like ads really early on for early stage startups when you don't yet know exactly who your ICP is and how to reach out to them. But I'd say that kind of first part would be the awareness funnel, which right now for us is a lot of kind of that thought leadership and the partnerships we're building within the industry. Um, Next portion I'd say would be consideration, buying side. In SMB, that was sales. So small business sales is really not product led, as much as things might change over time. But for SMBs, especially restaurant owners, you have to reach out. So a lot of it for us with sales is traditional outbound sales. We alternate some in person, some inside sales, but for the most part, it was the basic sales metrics of still old school meetings held, win ratios, looking at sales cycles, but understanding kind of the sales funnel. Um, Growth and retention, where I started my career and I still kind of feel the most passionate of where I think the most value sometimes can be found is really in terms of understanding that customer journey. What are the indicators of where customers are getting the most value? The leading indicators is one thing I always try to pay attention to, not just looking at churn, which is a lagging indicator, but really understanding the customer throughout their journey with you. And I think a lot of it is just building out that infrastructure as you go in terms of understanding how to look at the journey, where to measure across the way. Um, and that's where, RevOps has been something that, especially now with AI tools, I think it's becoming easier, which is great, too. But I think ultimately it all comes down to kind of looking at it as an overall customer journey and breaking it down into those specific funnels.